Ruth gets points. Period. Anyhow, welcome to La Vie en Creole, where we all discuss things that are Haitian American, mostly so that you know that you're not alone in the trauma you've experienced. Whether it be comedic or otherwise.
I got my kazoo, bro.
And honestly, if you're still sad about it, guess who we have today?
We got Haitians and therapists. They're more like that.
I got to talk. I got to tell what I feel. I got to talk about my life as I see it.
I like that song.
Biggie. This goes out to you. This goes out to you. You. Biggie. You. This goes out to you. This goes out to you. You. Biggie. You. This goes out to you. This goes out to you. You. Biggie. You. This goes out to you. This goes out to you. You.
Is there any a time where you just be like, man, I can't believe I became a therapist. Let me go.
All the time.
Really? And then La Pirate, please tell us why you chose to stay.
Honestly, I wanted to go to law school. That was always my thing as a child. I wanted to become a lawyer, and I realized that I can, still help people with social work. I can, do something I love. Mm-hmm. I love just being able to speak to people every day. Just being able to help them through or just listen.
Yeah.
You don't know how much listening helps sometimes.
Say that.
Just being an active listener.
You hear that, people who talk too much?
That's crazy that you even said that. I was about to ask you. So you used to get that on your report card or not?
What? That I talk too much?
Yeah.
All the time.
Listen.
All the time.
But now she balances it out by being a great listener now. So
she got all her talks out. So now,
Are you trying to say I talk too much right now?
Can you believe that?
Just kidding.
As a therapist, it is my job to talk and educate.
Woo! One thing them therapists gonna do is get them answers out of you, boy.
Does it ever get tiring for you to always listen to somebody else's problems?
Yes.
Or sad?
I don't want to say tiring. It does get draining. You are taking on someone's emotions, someone's problems, and as much sometimes you would try not to take it out the door with you, it does, You may not take every case with you, but there might be one case that day, someone that's going to be displaced and unhoused, and you're just like, dang, is there something that I missed? Is there something else that I could have done? Yeah. And that goes with you. So, yeah, there are times where it can be draining, a little draining, overwhelming. And in that moment, I remind myself that I should just take a moment for myself. Recently, I went away to Connecticut for a week, to just recharge.
Yeah.
And I came back and I was so refreshed because I felt so overwhelmed. I remember walking into work crying because I was so tired, so drained. So, yeah, it happens. But I definitely try to take that moment for myself as well. Like, okay, I can't help you if I'm broken in this moment. So.
We love a good work.
Recharge, everyone. Recharge. Yes. Find some kind of self-care,
I'm finna
take
quit
that
my
PTO.
Job.
Listen, it
is. PTO, I said I'm finna quit my job. Listen.
It is important to take that PTO, to take that day off, even if it's to just sit at home. You know how many times I've called out, I'm so sorry, to just lay in bed. To just lay in bed. My mental health that day.
Yes.
To lay in bed.
She's joking. Employer of Natasha.
Yeah. I'm joking. Maybe.
Wink.
But no, mental health, mental health is important. And it's,
I recommend taking hooky days with your friends.
They are also important.
Even if you're not doing something, just chilling is enough. Sometimes.
How many hooky days have we taken together?
Scratch that from the record. Thanks.
No, but just chilling sometimes and taking communal naps, and then talking about the stuff that's making everybody just going in a circle talking about all the stuff that's making us mad.
Going for a walk.
Going for a walk.
We walk around the block.
We walk a lot. We walk a lot. Yeah.
Walk to go get food and come and go right back into the bed and watch Netflix.
That's right. That sounds like the perfect self-care day to me.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Stuff. It's
yeah.
Stuff. I like to call out of work 2 hours before work and I don't care. I'd be like, fend for yourselves, guys. See you in 20. Am I? If you're listening, you know, employer, I don't play that. I will literally call out 2 hours before work. Just so I could be in my bed.
As long as for your mental health,
Absolutely
I will condone.
Honestly, I can't be mad. And you can't fire her for that.
Period. I got my days.
Ruth, have you ever called out for mental health reasons?
I go to work every single time.
I love it.
I get there early, I leave late.
Oh my God.
I do the most. IRS, if you're listening, FBI, if you're listening, my employer, if you're listening, there will never come a day where I put my spirit, soul, body before the needs of your business.
It's the whisper of it for me.
Can we talk about work trauma? Oh my God. As a social worker, I feel so...
Oh my God.
I don't know. Should we unpack this?
I'm lying.
Okay.
Because
But I used to be like that.
Really?
Hell yeah.
Who was?
Same.
I was, yeah.
I used to feel very guilty about calling out of work at one point. I was like, they need me. And I work hard. They need me.
It was more like loyalty. Like, I didn't want to disappoint this entity, but I humanized the entity. And the entity isn't human. It's capitalist. It's corporations.
Yes.
And I had to, like, one day just kind of like, yo, the people there may not care about me, but the bottom line is more important to them than I am.
Mm-hmm.
And me. And I remember one time, I won't say the name of the company, but number one, I never called out, ever. And then two things happened. There was a time where I used to volunteer every Monday, and I never worked Mondays. And the store manager shifted, and then that Monday I didn't go in because it was an understanding that I didn't work on Mondays. But I guess the manager that was outgoing never said anything to the ingoing manager, and instead of like being thoughtful or understanding, they gave me a warning. It wasn't a write-up, but they gave me a warning. What? And they even admitted, like, yeah, we went back to the things and we saw that you never worked on Mondays. And it was kind of like, so this is an error on your part because you didn't do your due diligence in speaking to the manager because that's the person who did the schedule. And I'm the one that had to,
Suffer.
quote unquote, suffer, right? It wasn't I was still in grad school, I was working retail, but it was a high-end retail company, whatever. So that had me take pause. I was like, oh. When I'm not even the one that made the mistake, you made the mistake, I'm still the one that's paying for it, cool. And then another time, that same place, one of the managers had put me on to yoga, and I had tried something she did, and she wasn't even my manager. I tried a move that she said, she like to do the bridge pose, use like a door frame to help yourself get into the thing if you're not really that flexible. So I had done it, and then I had fell and I hit my neck or whatever. But it was like a funny thing. Like, it was a joke. So I like texted her as a joke, like, yo, I did it and I hit my head, whatever. Again, I had never called out of this job. Like, if I was late, it was no more than 10 minutes, whatever. And her response was like, are you trying to tell me that you're not coming in today? And I was like, oh, first of all, you're not my fucking manager. There's not a point in my life at that job where I called out. I had gone to that job one time sick as a dog, and one of the men's managers was just like, Ruth, you need to go home. Like, it was a point where, like, you know how your parents always have you go to school, whether you're sick, whether you're hurting, whatever. Like, I remember when I was a kid and I saw it on TV, like, when kids pretended to be sick.
I never
understood. To me, I didn't understand that either. I was just like, that's why I thought TV was so fake. I was like, oh, you still have to go to school, like, right? So I had carried that into my 20s. I'm not like that anymore. But that started to awaken in me, like, yo, even when I'm joking with you, there's no reason for you to believe that I'm not coming in because I have this entire, like, years long attendance record. I'm still like an op, right? Fuck it. And it's also, I think a part of it is just not really learning to, like, it sounds low-key corny, but, like, not really valuing and loving yourself more than others. So, do I take sick days? Hell yeah. Do I be sick? No.
I'd like to say that doesn't sound corny.
Not at all.
Yeah. You have to value yourself.
Not at all.
I was joking. I'd be sick. Don't fire me.
She values her job.
That's wild. Did you send it with an LOL?
I'm pretty sure I did. I was the queen of emojis back in the day.
That's wild.
Very
I told you I almost broke my neck and sent an LOL and you talk about some. So that means you're not coming in?
Is this you calling out?
Girl, if I was calling out, I would have said I was calling out.
Do you have a doctor's note? Huh? Are you in the ER? Is it an emergency?
Oh my god. Let's not talk about doctor's notes and people being stupid as fuck when they know that you're clearly visibly sick and then they ask you for a doctor's note.
Like
I'm looking at you, Miss Mamas.
But don't let these people play in your face. Go to the urgent care, especially when they try to act crazy with you. Go to the urgent care. I don't care how long it takes. Talk to the doctor. The doctor always understands what's going on.
I know that's right.
When I told you the doctor was like, she what?
She you?
Man, how many days? I don't even know this doctor. He was just like, how many days? All right. It was a week? Cool.
2 months later.
Still at home.
At home.
Recovering.
Do you think that, you know how like kids are having mental health days these days? They do? What are your thoughts on that? Yeah. There's schools that allow mental health days.
How does that look? I would like to know how that works first before. Like, if I'm not feeling well, do I say, hey, I'm not coming into school today, I'm taking a mental health day? Or is it like a set day already? Of like September 15th is mental health day.
Yeah. I don't remember how they systematize it, so I don't want to lie. Mm-hmm. But I know parents are allowing their kids to take mental health days, which is like, I don't feel well, I don't want to go in today. And then they'll be like, okay, you don't have to. And then there were times, like, especially I think 2020 around that area, where schools were allowing for mental health days. I think it functioned in the same way of sick days. Like, you can take it on your own regard, and then you come in with like a mental health note or whatever.
Okay. I actually like that.
Same.
I really, really do like that. And I will say this. School can be very overwhelming, right?
Yes.
People are bullied.
Yeah.
You know? Let's just use that. For example, people are bullied.
Mm-hmm.
That mental health day, that one day, can possibly save them from, being bullied that day. I don't want to say saved, but just being home. I'm not being bullied that day. No one is attacking me. No one is, making fun of me. I get to just be at home.
Sense of peace. Yeah.
So I actually love that.
Good idea.
Will I let Carter take a mental health day every time? I don't know. I think if there's something going on and, we can speak about it, then yeah, definitely.
I feel like, I was never bullied in school. People tried, but it never really got too far. But, I do remember in my teens, and I don't know if it was, hormone fog or whatever, but there were just some days where I'd be like, and this is probably why I cut so much, don't tell my mom and my dad.
So Rachel was taking mental health days before it was even a thing.
Right.
No, honestly, probably, yes, honestly, because even if I think about my school tenure into, work, I don't play about my days off. I don't care if it means that I'm going to get paid less. As long as I know I'm not coming in there feeling nuts, like I want to just fight everybody, I'm taking those days. Period. So, yeah, I do remember in high school being like, I don't want to go to school today, but my parents aren't going to go for that. I literally have to be sick, and I never get sick. So I'm just gonna, quote unquote, go to school and then go chill at somebody's house for the entire day. And it
was a mental health day without even realizing.
In certain regards it was, but then I feel like as a person who realizes now that she's a homebody, it would have been way better for me to be at home. But you learn, you live, you learn.
But situations didn't allow it, Your parents wouldn't have allowed you to be home, so.
And they wouldn't have allowed they wouldn't have allowed for me to be home and just exist.
Oh yeah, you have to do something.
Exactly. So.
You have to go to the supermarket and business Vienna.
Yeah.
You have to clean.
Oh yeah,
Jesus.
Or I can see we have 5 sacs laundry pour faire.
5?
5.
If I really think back, oh wow. Look at you helping me unpack things.
It's my job.
That's right.
When I went through a period where I feel like I most likely was depressed because I was in bed all the time, one of the easiest things for me was that my parents were constantly like away at the time, and so I was at home by myself and left to my own devices. I would just be in bed.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Because I don't have to answer to anyone or like, you know, left to, I mean, you know, just exist. Like I could just exist. And it, not that it was a good thing. I'm not going to say that, but it was different from having to leave home and be, I guess what would be, what do they say about people who are, they're depressed, but they just like go through life, functioning depressed person versus like being at home was different. I'll just say that.
Depression is different between black people and white people, though.
I will say that.
I learned that working at the Department of Health. So it is like you can still get out of. I mean, I know you said that you were in bed consistently, but you can still get out of bed, work. It will look differently.
Yeah.
So when you're like, oh, you're staying in bed all day, like that's white people's depression statistically. I'm not saying like black people don't do the same shit.
I mean, but it's safe to know that depression looks different on everyone, right?
Yeah, it does.
Black and I think we need to normalize that. Yeah. You know, it doesn't look the same. It's not a cookie cutter, one size fit all.
Correct.
You know, my depression may not look like yours. It may not look like Rachel's.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mine looks better than yours, so I'm gonna just say that.
Just a little bit.
It's just a little bit more haute couture.
Just a little bit.
Not haute couture depression.
It's the aesthetics for me.
I'm crying. I am thankful for the work that therapists are doing to this day, because my parents gonna learn one way or the other. I'm telling you.
You gonna drill it in them?
Listen, if you gonna come here, you gotta come correct. Go see a therapist. Thank you. And I'm not talking about Radio Lumiere either. Give Radio Lumiere and Fue we go a break.
Or Shekina, no?
Oh my God. 24/7.
I feel like I don't even know any of those things anymore.
24/7. This is great. I feel like this is free therapy today. I love it.
Oh, so I'm not charging you guys after this?
Excuse me, what?
Absolutely.
What?
Immediately.
So I'm not getting a $50 copay.
Collect your shoes at the door, please. Thanks for coming.
Security.
Security.
By security, we mean sir. Escort you off the premises.
If you could create your ideal therapizing program for the Haitian community, what are 3 things it would include?
Oh, we're definitely focusing on trauma, right?
Yes.
Ooh, them Haitians have a lot of trauma.
Mm-hmm.
That is definitely number 1. Number 2, Ruth, you are having all these good questions tonight.
You know, that's what I did.
I told her to say
She's our
ask
Oprah.
it. I told her.
She's our Haitian Oprah.
I think building strong and healthy relationships, right? And communication.
Communication. Say
Let's
that.
open that door.
Communication.
Let's open that door to healthy communication skills.
Yeah.
Healthy coping skills.
Mm.
That was more than 3. Oh my God! Now I'm just like
Keep
it's
going,
going, right?
Keep going. Keep going.
Because they need it all.
Mm-hmm.
It's not okay to yell at me just because.
Why not?
C'est quoi ça me parlait?
Parlez fort.
What would your 5 tips be to the Haitian community regarding mental health?
1, take mental health seriously.
Mm-hmm.
2, speak to someone if you can. 3, take mental health days seriously. Prioritize your mental health as much as you can. It is okay to, take a step back. I know that guilt sometimes may make it hard, but it is very important to just take a step back and just, realign yourself.
That's the word.
4, I think I have 3,
Those are your top 3.
those are my top 3.
So it's Dylon, and Dylon. And no 2 more Dylons.
The 3 top Dylons will do it.
Mental health is no joke. And if you feel something, it's okay to speak to someone. It's okay to be vulnerable. I think there's a fear about being vulnerable, and, there's no need to be fearful of it. Yeah. Just lean into it, lean into that feeling. Embrace it, accept it, understand it, and process it. And mental health should not be taken lightly at all. So definitely take a serious note on it, guys.
Thank you for being our therapist this week. You are so epic.
Yeah.
Therapy with Tasha.
But before we end, I just want to note that I did put my son in therapy, and he was 8 at the time. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
How old is he now?
He's 10.
How's that going for him?
You know, co-payments. But he definitely, but this is how I know it made an impact. And this is why I guess I wanted to throw it in there. Recently, he just brought it up randomly. And I was just like, hey, why I stopped going to therapy? And I was just like, wow, I didn't realize that I'd stopped. Like, you stopped going.
Yeah.
Like, we just stopped abruptly. And I was like, would you like to go back? And he was like, I don't feel like I need it at the moment. But when I do, I'll let you know. I was like,
that's right.
That sounds fine to
You better
me.
use his words.
You know, so I guess that would be number 4. If you have kids, listen to your kids.
That's right.
You know.
You hear that, mommy and poppy? Do you hear that?
Do you hear that?
Do you? I'm gonna call y'all later about that too. Stop playing with me.
Not calling them later. They're not paying your copay.
But that's,
they won't even give you your fucking
it. Like my reparations from my Haitians. Maybe I
they won't even give you your birthday money.
Triggered. We're gonna have a separate therapy session after this when we wrap this up. Tasha, please don't go away. Like on Oprah's show.
Please don't go away from me.
If you need to speak to anybody, you know, hit us up 223-9797. The lines are always open.
We're gonna give you a nice referral.
Don't forget the GoFundMe.
We'll be in
The one
show notes.
that's entitled La Vie en Creole.
Yeah.
Don't forget it.
It goes to Tacha's debts.
Maybe, allegedly.
That should be the next thing you ask. They should forgive all therapists' debts.
Oh my God. How happy would I be?
Well, you have to save somebody's life, and you need proof.
Don't worry, girl. I got you.
We'll rehearse it. All right, I'm safe. And same time next week. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you for having me.
So sweet.
If you don't have a high yield savings account, baby, what is you doing? Okay, we look at a little recessionish out here. So use my referral code to get your account with Marcus. I know that sounds a little crazy, but it's with Goldman Sachs. They know what they're talking about with their money, all right? It's their high yield savings account.
Racist.
It just sounds like a friend, all right? Don't be racist. Use my referral code to get an extra percentage and interest on all your deposits. So that will look at about 5% as it stands today. Don't email me talking about, oh, it's 8% now. Oh, that's not my business. I'm not on the board of Marcus, all right? It's www.marcus.com/share/RUT as in Thomas -D as in dogmatic HH-F-YK4. It'll be for about 3 months, and then you go back to your regular interest rate, which is like 3.9% right now. That I will say now. Don't act like somebody didn't tell you. All right?
This comes out for you. This comes out for you. You. This comes out for you. This comes out for you. You. This comes out for you. This comes out for you. You. This comes out for you. This comes out for you. You. This comes out for you. This comes out for you. You. This comes out for you. This comes out for you. You. This comes out for you. This comes out for you. You. This comes out for you. This comes out for you. You.